Happy Friday and welcome to the weekly recap number 85. And Maddie, it's like we were just on a stream. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I've been really enjoying our session on Friday, the Tech Bites, and if anyone missed on it, I really advise them to go and watch it. It was about Veeam user group, a lot of great information in there. So yeah, definitely do that. But you know what? I wanted to share something with you today as well. Like, even though it's still summer, I don't know, today in here it felt like autumn. Do you feel the same?
I was actually starting to wonder when the stores are going to start selling Oktoberfest beer. So
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
I'm really close to that same mind of thought. So yeah, real close. But yeah, last Friday that Tech Bites on user group was strategy really hosted in the platform is a great one. I'll make sure I'll put that in the show notes. Yeah. So starting to feel like fall. And what's also interesting is we had to actually really pick this week on what are we going to focus without breaking the rule because we had a lot of good stuff to choose from. So let's actually go and take a look at that. So
Yes, let's do that. I think people are getting out of their vacation mood, going to the doing stuff more mood.
indeed.
So that's great. We had a lot of activity indeed. So let's go over that.
Yeah, so Derek comes up with using Wasabi again, object storage for service providers and MSPs. And, we talked about the VBR way of doing it. We also had one of the featured posts recently Jeff did about Kasten. Here is walking through using Wasabi object storage for a service provider. So I can't say enough about object storage being the future, and Wasabi is really doing a good job in the market. In addition to Amazon, Azure, Google, IBM, and some of the other, ones that are out there. In fact, all of them are what we call Veeam ready object storage. And you know what, Maddie? I just realized this is actually the whole nature of the Friday Tech Bites that Kirsten and I are doing on Friday. So, Derek, you're like walking into my to-do list. So, uh,
Awesome.
good shout here. So thank you so much for sharing on that one, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. He really got inspired by Jeff, and then Ragnar got inspired by Jeff, and then Derek got inspired by Ragnar. So I really like all
Indeed.
this inspiration thing that goes around the community.
I love it. I love it. And you'll get a like from me for that. And then let's move on to the next one. And now this one's a little bit tricky. So Wolfgang is back, vNote 42, with his What Else Is New in V12. And actually, he did two of them this week. And so that I am not breaking the rules, I'm only going to mention the other one. But I encourage you to do the What Else Is New. He had the MFA. Right here, two-factor authentications. But I'm not going to show that. Okay, I'm not going to break the rule. I'm only going to gravitate to
why
this.
not, Rick? That's my favorite feature from V12. Why wouldn't you show it?
Because nobody talks enough about the group managed service accounts.
True. Okay, let's talk about this one. Yes.
So Wolfgang is back here with his What Else Is New. And again, it's short and sweet, but it does a really good way of just showing you where you can use it. And then Milder, who, as you all know now, is in Veeam Product Management, given the update between Beta 2 and GA here. So, really good point here. The group managed service accounts are something that I talk to customers a lot who really want this implemented. So a couple of different usage points discovered. vNote, thank you so much for it's kind of a quick tip, but it's really a what else is new. So thank you so much for that one.
Thank you.
All right, our third one is like one of those passionate debates, Maddie. I don't know.
Yes.
It's like there's almost like a religious issue. It's like
it's
a house divided type of thing.
It's a to be or not to be from Shakespeare.
Exactly, indeed. And Chris has asked the question, and it's kind of a cheeky bit because, Chris is a practicing expert at a service provider, so he knows, there's a lot that goes into what he deploys, but he's asking the question, physical or virtual, for a Veeam deployment. Now, we've had a similar discussion on the forums, and this lit up the discussions here, and thank you, Milder, as well, for some advice. But the best practices guide, and kind of my advice here as a general rule of thumb, is anything you can do to have as much separation from the environment you're protecting is a good idea. So if you're protecting a large virtual environment, it might be a good idea to have your backup environment either on a different virtual environment or on a physical environment. So, and there's Randy, one of our engineers, who's a field practitioner with lots of different deployments. You know, there is a lot of flexibility here, but it's like it just keeps going and going. And I think Michael Paul's answer is actually longer than the original post. So it's definitely a topic here, but my angle is if you can put as much separation in it as possible, go for it. So any of the comments stick out to you on this?
No, I really love that. I just, just saw even names that I haven't seen active in the community. It's like everyone jumped in with an answer and just helping out and just saying their opinion. So that's great. I really love these kind of debates in here. And whatever you are saying, people are really passionate about what they are doing. And this is great. You can see it in the community.
Indeed. We love these types of debates because the pros and cons come out in these discussions. So thank you, Chris, for asking the question, and thank you all 15 who replied for sure. But now, Maddie, you had something for the special department. I have something for special department. Let's go with the first point.
Yes, so we have Jeff that wrote a very small paragraph, but I think very compelling about what is the Kubernetes Corner and what should it become and what activities can be done in here. So this is posted in discussion board. So just if you're interested in Kubernetes and you want to join, just go and have a look in here, what is happening. You can just give Jeff suggestions as well, ideas of how he can improve the space. So thank you, Jeff, for writing that.
Yeah, Jeff has put so much effort into sharing learning journeys and stuff like that in Kubernetes Corner, the question of the day, we did that virtual event yesterday with Jeff and Andre. So it's like so much is available here. So thank you, Jeff, for sharing that. And if you're on that journey, in fact, I'll share something from the stream yesterday. I asked both Jeff and Andre both. I said, for practicing IT pros across the board, should they at least get a fundamental knowledge of Kubernetes, or is it going to pass them by, type of thing? And they said you should probably get this knowledge now because it's very much going to be part of the mainstream conversation. So thank you, Jeff. Yeah.
I'm going to add one more thing. We're going to have the recording shared in the group, and we're going to share it on LinkedIn, Twitter as well. So people that couldn't join the conversation, they're going to be able to still watch it and learn from Andre's journey as well, from Jeff's knowledge and experience. So that's going to be great as well.
Indeed. So basically, this is the event we are talking about, happened yesterday, and it ended up being just to get expectations right. It was like a semi-interactive video podcast. So thank you for that. All right. Next part of special department news. I'm kind of breaking all the rules. It's not out on the website yet, but I'm going to make it an exclusive here for the community recap. Yesterday, we got an email from QA that the Veeam Backup from Microsoft 365 6A release is out of QA. So what this means is at this time, we're recording on Thursdays that the website and the download areas are being prepared. And it's reasonable to expect that, early next week, Monday, probably Tuesday, you'll see it for download. But the main thing internally that, we had gravitated for 365 6A backup was support for the new Teams export APIs related to Teams chats. There's a change going on in that. I know that we had, I think Milder put up a post about that a couple weeks ago.
Indeed.
Corinne has put some stuff in the live stream about this. And so 6A is the vehicle to support that. But what actually is really impressive, everyone, is all of these new compression and faster restores and backup just across the board. I couldn't even fit all of these improvements into the slide here. I had to go rogue on my font here, but the really important thing is a lot of the engine speeds are going to improve, which is really critical for very large deployments and service providers and things like that. So a lot more than just supporting the new Teams chat. Look for the full release notes on this probably early next week. So good stuff, and hat tip to our QA team who have done a great job with this new release. Other special department news, and true story, Maddie, this is what I work on with Dave Russell for the entire month of March. The Gartner Magic Quadrant has been published, and Veeam did really good. We're holding what they call the ability to execute, or the execution axis. We're an axis holder here for I think the third time in a row on this up axis. So good placement here. We've got the report available. You can go to that QR code. So always something in special department here at Veeam. I have 3 special department points.
Yeah,
maybe.
amazing.
I can't even remember.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But anyways, Maddie, hey, thank you so much for co-piloting this with me.
Let's go on the what's new, who's new, and
my gosh,
don't forget about who's new.
I'm telling you, this is a world-class production, everyone. I promise. We do have the who's new. I did not forget, and we are at plus 82. And Maddie and I both thought that Zero Defect was the coolest username up in the mix, and still there's still a lot of the people from Turkey are still signing up too. From was it Bullet who had the user?
Bullet, yes, and we have the VUG leader as well, Berat. Today he actually shared the recording, so I guess we're gonna have even more people.
Indeed.
Connecting with us in the community. Yes, that's gonna be crazy, but good in a good way.
So sorry, I almost forgot this, because if I did forget it, Maddie, if I'd have to put it on 2 slides or use an incredibly small font to capture 2 weeks worth of who's new, it just wouldn't be cool. But I didn't actually forget it. Good thing you remembered it.
Yes,
anyways,
absolutely.
So, thank you so much for co-piloting here with me.
Thank you, Rick. As always, a great pleasure, and I'm looking forward for next week to San Francisco. We're going to record from there.
That's a good point. We both are going to be at a industry event where we will learn a lot more about the Community Hub platform and some of the best practices and things like that. And I think what we'll do is still record on Teams, because I can guarantee you we won't find a quiet spot at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. So it might just be better off with Teams, but it'll be a new venue. We'll see. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week on the recap.